So I want to talk about two mistakes that I've made myself and that I've seen run and gun videographers make, well, numerous times. And while I do come from a wedding side of things, you could also be an event videographer, maybe filming a documentary, and this will definitely apply to you. In fact, I have filmed numerous events, and these two mistakes have been made by myself and my team and have since been corrected. Now, these share a common denominator, which is sticking to the plan instead of adapting and seeking out or adapting to what's happening in front of you. So here's a little bit of a story. I was at a wedding on this beautiful castle, literally a castle on Vancouver Island. I think it was used in the X-Men movies, and it was my first and only time there. So it was a huge opportunity. So we're filming tons of prep, photo session. And when it came to the ceremony, by the time my team and I had to get ready for the ceremony, every single guest was seated and the bride and groom were ready to walk down the aisle. So I'll repeat that. My team and I still had to get ready, but everyone was, ready for the ceremony. We still had set up, and there were 70 people plus the couple willing and ready to walk down that aisle. Now, there was some panic and scrambling and really just awkwardness in that my second shooter and I had to set up our 3 tripods, had to get audio set up on the groom, had to get audio set up with the mixer, had to get backup audio, and everyone's just kind of looking at us. That was really awkward. And this didn't happen because we were slow or the bride was slow, the photo session took a long time. It was really about not prioritizing what was important for us to do a good job. All right. It's not that things are on schedule or not on schedule. It's about having no buffer and no room to breathe in the schedule. So the bad move, which we did, and I have since corrected, is assuming that we have enough time for everything, not looking ahead, and just sticking to the schedule and making sure that our couple is happy. But, and also making sure that we don't make mistakes. But the better move, which I now do, is looking at the schedule, considering that I need 30 to 45 minutes to set up for the ceremony and capture shots. So this is making sure your setup and B-roll is ready. This can also apply to events if you have a different location. The better move is looking at the schedule, saying, hey, bride, I know we haven't got everything about you in the dress, but what's more important, the ceremony or the rest of your prep? That's how I position it. The better move is to kind of have the confidence to give a recommendation and ask and kind of put it in their hands with my professional recommendation of ceremony takes this long to prepare. I think we should leave early. And therefore, I can take my shots. I can be ready for one of the most stressful parts of your day. Now, that's just the technical thing, but there's a human side to this. There is not just stress on you as the shooter if you're scrambling for your second setup or a different setup at a new location, but the room can feel your stress. Your subjects will feel your stress. Oh, how you doing? You okay? You look a little frazzled, right? They'll see it, and that'll affect them. Everybody feels it. Some feel it shorter or longer than others, but you just want to make sure you're prepared because there's a real human side of this. There's a real human consequence if you're not prepared and you're scrambling, if you're frazzled. So the takeaway for this is that you should have the confidence to tell your subject, your couple, that you need to leave earlier than anticipated. Or heck, if you're on a planning call, you can step away from the schedule, the agenda, whatever it is, because you know your setup. You are the professional. They hired you for a reason. So have the confidence to say, hey, I know we're setting a keynote one is really important, but you want us to go film keynote 2. That's only 30 minutes later. I think we should leave earlier. Maybe my assistant should dip out and start setup because I don't want to miss keynote 2 and they're really important for this project. You know what I mean? You can take some control. So that's mistake 1 is not leaving enough time and not having the confidence to, speak up and give your professional opinion on the matter. Now, that was a few years ago, this whole experience. Segment 2, or this next segment, is kind of about not being in one place at all times. And again, this applies whether you're if you're in events, all right? So a story. I was leading a photo video team not too long ago at an Indian reception. So this is 300 people. It was wild. It's dancing time. And the expectation is that we film and provide a lot of dancing. It was the main event, partying. And the parents of the groom wanted to see a ton of footage. But we had filmed a lot. I had 1 videographer with me. There were 2 photographers. There's 4 of us. And I just thought I want to go check what's happening in the lobby. You never know. People are schmoozing, eating dessert. Who knows what's going to happen? So I told the team, I'm going to go walk around and see what's up. I'm kind of bored. I just wanted a change of scenery. But then I walked into something special. I saw the bride like kneeling down and talking to a bunch of like flower girl aged girls. They're, under 7 years old. There's four of them in the big frilly dresses, and the bride is crouching down, talking to them, telling them to, show their dresses off and give spins. And it was like this beautiful, candid moment that showed who the bride was, someone very, very caring. This was just a regular moment of one adult talking to a bunch of her nieces. And I'm so glad that I was there, that I took the initiative and to leave and have the confidence to know that we have enough dancing footage and my teammate can cover area 1 so I can move on and expand. And it's such wonderful footage. Now, the same couple, again, the stories about why you shouldn't just stand in one place because you're supposed to. But the next day, it was the full Chinese wedding day. And in the morning time, the groom was arriving with his groom squad, because they play some door games and little challenges. And I'm waiting outside of the apartment, and I see the guys driving up and down looking for parking. And then they take this right, and they're kind of gone for a while. And I say to my teammate, I'm like, hey man, I'm just gonna go for a walk and see what's happening. As I turn the corner, I'm anticipating that maybe they found parking and they're walking up. And of course, what's happening? They're walking up like it's a friggin' superhero movie. They're all like laughing, and they see my camera. They go, hey, and they give us this like excitement and engagement. But now I have story of not just them like getting to the apartment, but approaching and getting out of the car and the lead up. And there were these fun like squad moments, excitement, and build up to, let's say, act 1 of the day. So don't just stay where you're supposed to. Don't get comfortable or too comfortable, and not anticipate story moments. So if you're at an event or you're filming a documentary and there's a little bit of downtime, you're waiting for something to happen, go somewhere else, exit the building, go around the corner, just walk around sometimes and hunt for moments. Don't be complacent. Go move around and hunt for moments, hunt for candids that might and will add to your story. Because the best moment isn't always pointed out. It's not always in your timeline. The best moments can happen off to the side while everyone else is focused on the main event. Do not stand in one place. What some people do is they're just waiting for the moment to happen. But really, once you've got enough coverage, give yourself permission to wander and follow what catches your eye. So your takeaway is leave enough room in the schedule to make sure that you have what you need to execute to the degree that you want to and that your client is expecting. And also give yourself permission and space to wander around. Yes, it's good to plan, but the plan isn't always the job. Paying attention is the job. Paying attention to opportunity, to the schedule. This is the stuff that people hire us for. It's preparedness. It's seeking real moments. It's storytelling and catching what's real. I hope these little lessons have been helpful. This is new for me. If there's something that you want to hear about, leave a comment. Let me know. Ask your questions. Send me a DM on Instagram at ShyKFilms. I've been doing this for 11 years professionally, and even longer not professionally. So I have a lot to give, and I want to start giving more and more and more to people like you so that you can fast track to a degree your career and be ahead of me. Yeah, just be ahead of me wherever. How do I say this sentence? If you know what I'm trying to say? If you're I want you to be ahead of me at year 5 than when I was at year 5. I'll leave it at that. Bye, guys.